Hey everyone, Shakarez here, and today I'm doing another commentary, this time on Skarner, one of my main champions, and one of the champions I've been having more success on. So, I wanted to do a commentary about Skarner to talk a bit about how... what's his place in the jungle now with the Cinderhulk changes, how he's been doing, all that kind of jazz. So, yeah, I think with the changes to the Juggernaut item and making it a Cinderhulk, I'd say that Skarner is probably in his best spot since the changes to the jungle items. So when the jungle items were changed and when Spirit of the Elder Lizard was removed, he was in a kind of a bad spot because Elder Lizard was such a good item on him because it gave him the AD for his Q, but at the same time it gave him nothing else. It only really gave him that stat, and it gave him the passive, the burn passive that was really strong, made him a really strong duelist, that kind of stuff. But with the changes, Warrior didn't really fit Skarner thematically because Skarner doesn't really use armor penetration. His Q is magic damage, everything on his kit is magic damage, except for obviously the auto attacks. So Warrior didn't really make sense on him. Then I try other stuff like Devour. It looked really good initially, but then Devour got nerfed, so it didn't look too good either. So it was kind of hard to tell if it was going to be good. So right here, the first gank comes in. Gold card by Twisted Fate. Cassiopeia has her flash down. And whenever I'm playing versus one of these laners that doesn't have an escape pre-6, so Cassid and Ari, even those, if they're pre-6 and they don't have flash, I'm going to camp that lane super hard. And right here, Gragas comes out of nowhere, but he's not going to be able to do much because Skarner outdamages so hard. Problem is, my flash was really trash, so I couldn't do anything here. Anyways, here I go back to get the crab. Skarner also gets crabs pretty easily because of the stun. Remember that stuns reduce the resistances on the Scuttle Crab, so if he is stunned, he is very easy to take down. Anyways, Devour seemed kind of good, but I don't know, it was kind of weird playing him with Devour, even if you went Devour into full tank. Then Devour got nerfed, didn't seem that good. And then Juggernaut wasn't like anything special on Skarner either. Like, Juggernaut was really weird on Skarner. I don't know, it just didn't give him anything. It was okay, I guess, but it really didn't help him. The meta wasn't helping him either. And now with the Cinderhulk changes, I feel like he finally is in a decent spot. He's not in the best spot ever, because there are other tank junglers that are better, like Sejuani, maybe Volibear. Other tank junglers can do more than he can, but it's fine. So right here I go for the gank top lane. Shyvana level 6. Shyvana's doing that TP smite bullshit, so she's going Cinderhulk, which is really annoying. But Jack said we should gank her because she's very vulnerable without flash. I didn't get to go there pre-6 because I wanted to focus on ganking mid lane since Cassiopeia was down, because Cassiopeia is such a bully, and if you can tone her down, it's a really good idea. So right here, I do a mistake here. I decide to take Grom from Gragas. He's looking, and I know I can duel him, but I forgot my mid laner had just backed, and Shyvana teleported to her turret, so I just die a horrible death. Not too smart. Not very smart, Shakarez. Anyways, so yeah, Cinderhulk, he's not the guy who gets the most out of it, because Skarner, as a champion, he likes to focus on resists more than on health, and this is simply based on the fact that he already has a shield on his W, so obviously the more resistance you have, the stronger his W will be. But alongside the Cinderhulk changes, a really good change for Skarner was the buffs, was the introduction and then the buffs on Righteous Glory. Now, Righteous Glory in its initial state wasn't too good, and people weren't prioritizing it too much, but now that it's 650 HP item, it's so strong. Oh, and right here I was gonna ult her, but she ulted us and flashed, but we blew her flash, so it's worth, even though TF burned his flash as well. But yeah, the buff to Righteous Glory is such a good buff for Skarner. It's one of the champions that gets the most out of the Righteous Glory buffs, because it's an item that not only gives him a shit ton of health and a really strong active, it also gives him, as I said, the really strong active, it also gives him a bit of mana. And now, one of Skarner's biggest problems is mana. He runs out of mana very early. Now right here, they were ganking Twisted Fate. I grabbed the Gragas, and I think, well, I can kill Gragas here and maybe run. But I decide to stay, and here's Skarner's strength. If he can proc those Crystal Slashes and get the passive off and stun people, he is so strong. And right there, you saw what I did. I just basically managed to 1v2 almost. And right here, they're both dead. I make the call for blue buff. I knew blue buff was up because I had just checked it. So I say Twisted Fate, let's go. Let's do this blue buff. I smite it early just for the extra mana and just so we can clear it faster. I know Gragas won't come here. If anyone comes, it's going to be Shyvana, but where to? We have Twisted Fate, so we can always stun and run. So that's fine. So yeah, Righteous Glory buffs, really good. The item has mana, which is a really nice thing for Skarner. Skarner, thematically as a champion, should always get a Sheen item, if possible, and also Righteous Glory. So that will be 2 mana items, and that will help him at least shore up his mana problems, because he's very mana dependent and very mana intensive as well. So for my runes, I am going for 2190. You can run either 2190 or 9210. I prefer to go 21 offense because since I'm going to be building mostly full tank, I just prefer going for this. But if you're against someone who invades and you want to play defensive, you can also go 921. It's fine. Either works. Right here, really annoying situation. Everyone was super low, but everyone had flash. So Bard flashes, Sivir flashes. I try to go on Gragas, and then he notices I move. And then Saraki heals me, and we just decide to back off before something weird happens, and we're forced to, and we die or something. So go back. I already got my Cinderhulk with my Stalker's Blade. Stalker's Blade is my preferred enchant for Skarner. You can honestly go for either of the 3. Like Skirmish's Saber is pretty strong. Trailblazer will give him a bit more mana sustain, but I really like the Stalker's Blade for the extra damage, for the extra bursty damage and the slow. And it fits the champion thematically really well, so I like to go for that. And you'll see that I'm holding on to a mana crystal right now. It's not the most efficient thing, but I really don't need combat stats at the moment, and mana is going to indirectly be my combat stat in a way, you know? Because if I don't go that means I can keep pressuring with Skarner. So get the Scuttle Crab here, watch for stuff. Nothing's happening really. I was trying to camp Cassiopeia, not too lucky. But yeah, usually Skarner, I build him Cinderhulk into Sheen. Not always Sheen, but I'll always get a Sheen item, and I'll either go Iceborne Gauntlet or Trinity Force. When I'm versus heavy AD, I'll usually go straight into Iceborne Gauntlet. If I'm versus more physical magical damage than physical, I'll either rush a Locket second, or I'll just get a Sheen and then into a Locket. So this is something I really like to do on Skarner. When the minions on mid lane are running out, I just try to kill them really fast, flash ult into the turret, and let the turret do the job for me. That's what I did there. I don't know if you guys noticed, but that was a lot of damage that the turret did. And with the smite, I knew Cassiopeia had no flash, so she couldn't do anything. So she just stood under turret, and I get a free kill. So that's really good. So yeah, I got my Sheen. I went for Cloth Armor. So this game, I'm going for Iceborne Gauntlet, which might not make that much sense, since I'm facing Cassiopeia and Gragas, which are both magic damage dealers, but Cassiopeia is kind of behind. Shyvana does mix damage, so it's kind of hard to see what to itemize for. So it's hard to choose between those. But Iceborne Gauntlet here for the stickiness. Iceborne Gauntlet ends up being the most the better defensive option. For team fights, he's really good at peeling with Iceborne Gauntlet, and obviously for chasing, it's the better option for your team because Trinity Force is the more selfish item. So I'm going for Iceborne Gauntlet here, and then probably third item, I'll either go Locket or Righteous Glory. It really depends on the game, but Righteous Glory is usually my third or my fourth purchase, and then you know you want your normal tank items. You can get another really good item if you're not too capped on CDR is Frozen Heart. It's really nice. Right there, I tried to do the same shit with Shyvana, but it didn't really work because she's really tanky right now. But yeah, it really depends. Usually I just go for my Sheen item as my offensive item, and then I go for Righteous Glory as my health item. I might go Warmogs if there's a lot of mixed damage. For MR, it's usually Locket, unless my support is building it and I don't need it, and then I'll go for Banshees or Spirit Visage in case I need the CDR. Armor items, obviously Randuin Zelman. I don't build it that much anymore because I'm going Righteous Glory, so it's kind of not needed with all the slows I already have. So usually Warmogs ends up being better, and then Thorn Mail, Frozen Heart are really good items if you can afford to go that way. So when I'm playing against a full AD composition, I'll usually go like Iceborne Gauntlet into... I think I go Iceborne Gauntlet into Frozen Heart and just get 40% CDR with my runes and masteries and just end it there. And right here, we just... this is the power of Skarner. He's really strong in duels. And when he's ahead, when he has his Sheen, he does a lot of damage. And people don't realize it sometimes. So, yeah, we just killed Sivir there really easily. And, yeah, Skarner got some buffs these last patches. Nothing special, but they were pretty nice. Like, they made his E have some damage on it, so it actually looks like a skill now. His E is not that great, to be honest. It's a decent skill. Its utility is really strong, but its damage is really subpar, and it used to be worse, so, you know. So right here, Shyvana was trying to cheese my red buff, and that's what happens when you're playing against the top laner with Smite. He'll try to invade you and take your shit, but I'm not gonna let that happen. Anyways, I talked about runes. I get 5 masteries, I get 5% there. And then for runes, I'm currently running a really weird mix of attack speed and attack damage marks and quints. It's what I usually run. And then I run armor seals and 6 CDR glyphs and 3 magic per level glyphs. So I get 5% CDR from runes, 5% from masteries. Start off the game with 10%. And since usually I'll get Iceborne Gauntlet, that's 20%, Locket 30%, and then I'm usually at 30. So right here, this was pretty weird. Everyone came one by one. Cassiopeia comes in and tries to kill me for some reason. Not the best idea. I don't have much MR, but I do have Mercs, so I'm pretty tanky. And then Sivir just dies, so they just died one by one. And then I think they catch Bard here, and that's the ace. I'm just gonna back here, not gonna do much. But yeah, those are my runes and masteries for Skarner. But if you don't have many pages, you can just run attack speed marks, attack speed quints, and just go with it that way. As for his role, I really like Skarner. I think Skarner is really strong when mid-game starts to show up. And if you can create picks with Skarner, Flash Ult is such a strong tool. So in team fights you're not engaging, I'd say he's not the strongest champion. Usually you want to have an opportunity to Flash Ult someone and have your team burst them down. That's the team fights, and the way Skarner is the strongest is when he gets to do that. Like right here, I just ult Cassiopeia. I couldn't move much because of minion block, but I still like chunk her super hard, and this is just pretty much me doing all the damage alone. And Jax goes after them. And here I see Sivir. Unfortunately, Soraka decided to help Jax instead of me. And then I almost kill her there, which was unfortunate. But Twisted Fate did see her backing. Gets the kill with the wild cards, so it's fine. So Skarner, really strong duelist, and if you can jump on an AD carry and just sit on him, he's so strong in that way. But when the late game team fights start showing up and people start getting QSS, it starts getting kind of annoying because flash ult is really your only way of engaging, and obviously you can use your ult defensively. So let's say they have a Riven or a Katarina jumping into your backline, you can save your ult till then so you can peel for your carries. But I don't feel like that's the best way of using Skarner. I feel like Skarner is really a really good pick-off champion and a good champion to do the first engage and try to get a champion off so people can burst him down. But usually I like to have other forms of engage on a team composition that includes Skarner, because by himself he's not the most reliable CC initiator. So yeah, lastly I just wanted to talk about a few things going on with my channel and all that stuff. Basically, you guys might have seen a video in Portuguese I released, which was basically the same video in English. I released them in two languages, and basically I did this because recently there's been quite a surge of people in Brazil that have started following me. So I just decided to do it because I thought it was worth it and I wanted to try it out. And right here, Jax gets a really funny kill. He like hops onto Sivir, but she's still inside the tunnel. So I'm not sure how that worked, but it did. But yeah, I decided to do the video in Portuguese because I wanted to test out the waters, see if I'd get a lot of a good response on the video in Portuguese. In the future, if I do videos in Portuguese, it will be mostly videos that I also do in English, so 2 languages. And whenever I do these, I am going to basically do them at the same time, do the video in English, and then have a link to an enlisted video in Portuguese. And I'll do this in order to avoid, basically avoid spamming your sub boxes, because people complain that if I do a Portuguese video every time I do an English video, my sub box gets kind of spammed, and I agree. So in the future I'll probably keep it enlisted. I don't think starting a new channel is a good idea. I'm not that big of a YouTuber. My channel is not that big, so it's not worth it really. So I guess the better option would be really to do what I just said, to have the videos enlisted. But yeah, the Brazilian crowd has really been showing up on my Twitter followers and all that stuff, so I thought it would be a really good idea if I could give back. And you know, Brazil is kind of a niche right now. They're a really big region. They have a lot of fans, a lot of dedicated fans, and not many content producers. So it's something where I can come in and have my niche. Although Portuguese from Portugal is very different. It's much more. It's very phonetically different. So. Yeah, right there, the Saints might. Yeah, but it's very phonetically different, but people still understand it, especially if I put subtitles. I think it's easier to understand. So right here, flash engage on Cassiopeia. Very easy. That's the way you do shit on Skarner. It's the most reliable form of engage. And yeah, I've been climbing steadily with Skarner. I think I'm on a 70+% win rate on him on this account, and I'm finally out of Diamond 5, which is that Heart of Alilo. I'm in Diamond 4 on this account, and I'll be climbing to Diamond 1 when I get my stream problems sorted, which I really can't talk about, but by this week I should have them ready. So yeah, I think that's going to be it. Not much more to say. I still have some more minutes to talk about stuff. So these last few weeks I've been kind of on a break since I left Team Liquid as an analyst. It was I made a vlog about it. I don't need to talk about it here because I've already talked about it on my vlog. But yeah, these last few weeks I've been trying to think if I'd like to join other teams or just go through or just go for content. And to be honest, while content seems kind of appealing, I'm not at a size where I can realistically live off of my YouTube and stream content. Obviously, if I stream more and I get more subs, it's obviously something I can do. But I don't know. Every time I stream, it's kind of weird for me. I don't see myself as a huge streamer. I guess that really changes with practice. So if I streamed more, I'd get more into it and get more used to it, and I will try. But I don't know. It's kind of weird for me because I'm not very. I don't think I'm very entertaining. I'm somewhat of an introvert, so that doesn't help. I don't know. I just don't have that entertaining persona like other people like Impact do. So I don't know. The streaming thing. I will stream occasionally, but I don't think it's something I'll do like as a full-time thing because I don't think I'm very good at it. I'm not the best of players. I have a limited champion pool. I don't think I'm that entertaining or funny. So, you know, I might just focus on other stuff. So right here, the game is ending. As I said, even though, as I was talking about, I decided after these weeks of break, I decided that I'd be pursuing and looking for other teams. Unfortunately, and I kind of regret it, I did get a good offer that I declined from Brazil, and I kind of regret it. So right now I'm looking for a team. Hopefully I can get into a good team and do my work because people believe in my capabilities, and I really want to prove that I am good at doing my job. But yeah, that's going to be it for this commentary. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be releasing more content soon. And I hope you guys like this commentary. If you'd like to see more, please leave a comment in the description, and I will take your comment into consideration. That's going to be it, and I'll see you guys in the Rift. Shakarez signing out.